Hello, this is Friendly Cat, and we have an adventure. A fellow Zong Xingdi, I believe, asked me to play as India and form Akhand Bharat. Actually asked if we had a guide for it. I didn't have it, so let's make it. All right, I'll include a link to my HOI fundamentals, some of the more complicated concepts. I won't go into deep in this video, but HOI fundamentals can absolutely help you out. So let's go ahead and move this onto the road to independence. And then we'll just, since we are playing historical, it's interesting. Germany has gone historical. They're a fascist path. So that's actually going to be rather helpful because we plan to be going fascist as well. So on to the League Against Gandhiism, moving right along. When you get this event, we want to take the top event. I think we want resistance events. I'm still not sure exactly how that mechanic works, at least for these runs, India runs, but I think we do want it because we're going to bounce back up to another event to get more resistance. When you get this pop-up, take the bottom one. We want to have a high resistance value, so it means we want low compliance. Sounds counterintuitive, but it should make sense. On to forward block. Very good, because that will continue us on down to then promote violence against the British. That's the second of our focus, maybe second or third. That increases resistance target and resistance event, both of which are very helpful for this run. Now we're going to move on down to pick up some Sikh Democratic allies or friends, and then infiltrate Adan. So we'll take those four focuses next. After Sikh Democratic allies, we get one of the first of the most unusual little options. We get the Army Offense Genius. That is the highest and best general or offense modifier in the game, as far as I know. Very powerful. Now we're going to go on to our third research slot along the way. We'll pick up Akhand Bank, I believe. And so do click that industrial item because it gives us plus war support. Ooh, little entente. Oh, this sounds bad for Germany. Germany on ahistorical often has a terrible time when they go fascist, and it looks like they're heading down that road with a little entente. That means the Czechs will probably not give up the Sudetenland. And we'll continue on down. Now that we've reached our 50% war support, let's go to Give Me Blood, and I will give you freedom to start our revolution. Before you do a civil war, delete all of your units. I don't do this for most runs. I don't show it. I know some people have asked. Definitely delete all your units. So there are very few civil wars you want to keep it. Now when we get to this part, just before the Civil War fires, we've got this ability to click for about 13 political power, or for 30, to eventually flip that state to our side, to raise its resistance level. And we're going to pretty much do that to almost every state. I think we'll leave 3 states untouched, but the rest will get flipped. So we're burning political power. Before the Civil War, your run should look something like this. Notice that almost all of them are at 100% or they're above 65% because we want them to flip. When the Civil War kicks off, this is what it should look like for you. At least for me, this is what it looks like for me. We have flipped a significant amount of India. I call it British Raj, but India is probably more important. So let's head on down to that little focus right there to pick up our cores. And we're going to take our units and then convert them into 3 battalions of calves. Basically, we're turning them into calves, and we're going to run around. We don't win civil wars by fighting, at least very rarely anyway. Mainly, we just win them by running around. So that's why we flip so many of those states. We can walk into Bombay, and we can walk into other major areas, like I think it's Delhi as well, because the AI units will just walk right out. Again, your goal is not to encircle, not to destroy, not to win battles, but win the Civil War, and we win that by running around the enemy units. And I think it's like 15 or 20 days later, that's it. We've won. We will take the offer them peace. We do not want to stay at war with the UK. We don't really benefit from that. They will accept, at least it seems like they always accept. And that's it. Civil War over. Not too painful at all. A little bit of micro, but very, very quick. Ooh, the Soviet Union has now gone to civil war. They do that quite about in ahistorical, so that makes our life that much easier. Now we're going to go on to take the Akhand Bharat focus. And that's what we've been waiting for. That's kind of like the core of this whole run. We also want to take on this focus, very nice, because it gives us very powerful attacking generals, some of the most powerful attacking generals in the game. Once Akhand Bharat is finished, we get these options. And these decisions work like this. We can claim a land, and it turns into our cores. Once we control it, then we can claim another. But if we claim a land and turn to our cores that we don't yet control, then it gets grayed out, and we cannot claim another area until we control the area that we just claimed. that makes a little bit of sense. It'll make sense as we start working our way through the run. And since we already controlled Pakistan and Ceylon or Sri Lanka, that's why we already clicked those. Now let's claim Afghan. You saw they went gray, so we can no longer claim anybody else. We must control all of Afghanistan before we move on. Our mountaineers are going to be these really nice six width support artillery mountaineers. That's all we can afford really right now, so we'll build them up later. Going into Afghanistan is a lot easier than it might seem because these are our cores. Once we claim them, they become our cores before we go in there. And Afghan has that nice little armored defender. The only problem is he uses fuel, which means he needs to escape, and he did not. He got overrun. First overrun of the game. I rarely really get overruns, but it's not that bad. We're going to be pinning up north. Afghanistan doesn't have enough troops, so once we kind of break through the south, we're racing toward Kabul so we can get a quick win on this civil war. We're not trying to break the top, and that's it. Not too painful. Again, these are our cores, which helps quite a bit with our movement, and we get the combat bonuses. And that's it. One country down. That's quick. Let's go on to our fourth research slot now that we've taken that nice general focus. Focus that gives us big generals. I'm going to resort transport planes just in case. You shouldn't need them. I don't need them. But even on a historical run, I've got good with submarines, but I'll do that and paratroopers just in case. And they might come in handy on this run. The Munich Diktat. Oh, Germany's getting me on fire. I'm voting for Germany. Germany's going to do well this run because this means that France and the UK will not back Czech. Both France and the UK are staying democratic. But that means Czech has defied Germany, and if Germany can break through those fort lines, which they often can, they're in a good place. Bhutan is our next, opportunity. So our mountaineers have no problem taking Bhutan. So one more country closer. Greece, also resistant. Greece wants in on it. That means they'll join the Entente as well. The little Entente with Czechoslovakia. And nope, Czechoslovakia is broken. That means Germany could come out huge. I think they might. Then let's go on to, I think that's Nepal, another one of our little targets. Again, mountaineers just love fighting in mountains, so let's take them out. Germany, awesome. I'm so proud of you. They've done so well in the end of 1938. Look how much land they've controlled. That's far greater than anyone could reasonably expect. So great job, Germany. You're going to be a great help, I think. As we continue down, I'm going to pick up the stability advisor, and I'll pick up another stability and research advisor later because I'm kind of hurting for stability. I can't get rid of some of the stability debuffs, like the one related to our ability to integrate with other parts of our country. And on to Tibet. Look at this. Okay, so this is a plus 5% attack focus, which is really good. Those are pretty rare. But then there's a second one over here we'll be taking. So it's 2 plus 5 attack division bonuses, and we get the most powerful plus 15 attack military guy. Oh, this is a very powerful, and we get generals that are the most powerful in the, or at least the highest attack values in the game. So this is actually a very, very powerful miner. All right, you can see we've now taken quite a few left. The only thing we have left is Burma and Maldives, both of which are effectively controlled by the UK. And I'm not quite ready to kick off them. So let's wait a little bit. This is what my army tank, our tank normally looks like. I do use Marines with tanks on the front, pretty straightforward design. So we're going to try to wait for Germany to kick off the war before we go for the UK. Now let's go after Iran. Why not? We still haven't generated enough world tension for them to get guaranteed. Since we've been going into peace conferences and just taking our cores, we don't generate a lot of world tension, which sounds kind of odd considering how much land we've taken. But that's how peace conferences work when you have cores. I had a terrible time with Iran. I think sometimes I'm getting better, sometimes I'm getting worse. So we're going to walk into Tehran. That's not a problem, which can help us out. Oh, no, hours. This is terrible. I didn't play nearly as well as I should have. Once Germany kicks off the war, go ahead and justify on their puppet. And that will actually cause the rest of the world to think, or large parts of the world to think you're going to go to war with them, and they will give you Lend-Lease because now they're afraid of Germany and they want to help you out. So we're going to do that, but then we'll cancel the justification. United States join the Allies, things are looking worse for Germany. And they're looking worse for us because eventually we need to go to war with the UK to take the Maldives. But Bangladesh isn't really a problem, but getting into Maldives will be more problematic. Now, this is kind of what our our mountaineers are looking like. We're starting to fill them up. We'll get maintenance. We'll eventually add some anti-air. As we continue down to Portugal joins the Axis. I don't know if that's going to help Germany out that much because Portugal is actually at war with the communist Spain, who won their civil war. I'm not sure how they managed to win. Oh, here it is. Into 1939, Germany breaks Molotov-Ribbentrop, but the reason they broke it is because Portugal joined, which means now Germany is at war with the Soviet Union. In October 1939, things don't look well. They're facing off against the U.S. as well. It's tough, and really it looks like this for them. I don't know if they can hold out. Italy also joined, went communist, and they joined the Soviet Union. So I don't know, Germany, your days might be numbered after all. This is the kill death ratio atrocious. This is me playing terribly. I mean, we got it done, but I definitely could have done a lot better. With Iran finally off the board, I can kind of breathe easy. I was hoping to go to war with the UK once Germany got in, but it does not look good for them. As we continue our aircraft, I do go for mixed role aircraft. That's bomb locks on the front. I'll eventually make this much better, but I just want to show you at this point we don't have the air speed to get much better. So let's open up against the Soviet Union. They went into civil war. They're war with Germany. They only have like 90 or 100 divisions, so they cannot cover the front. So this is actually going to be so much easier than even defeating Iran. And this is what it looks like. Once we break a little corner open, they can't even cover the line, and we'll do some encirclement, and it becomes that much harder for Iran, for the Soviet Union. Here we are, Germany, and me and us being able to actually connect with them makes it that much less likely they're going to get capitulated from the other side, if that makes sense, because they have to cover both lines. All right, our final form of the Mountaineers with tanks, 27 with 2 line artillery, very strong, at least to me, very strong. I've been using something like this either with Marines or Mountaineers for a while. This is what the front line looks like for Soviet Union. They just can't cover the front. They can cover maybe 20 tiles, 30 tiles, so it's just a matter of time before we capitulate them. Now, they are in a faction with Italy, so we'll have to take Italy out too, but I'm far used to destroying Italy. They've been at war with Germany for a while anyway, so let's just push right through them. All right, and we've got a lot of war support, war score, We also, I think, get bonuses to annexation costs, so we're going to get a lot of land. I'm really looking forward to this. I'll take the Italian fleet. We'll take out the Maldives because that's the biggest problem, not Bangladesh, and then we'll complete this run. That feels good. We're just about done. Let's finish off Italy and just enjoy our casual walk through the Italian countryside. Again, they've been at war with Germany. We are not at war with the Allies. We just have to pick on Italy and bring them to capitulation. Nice, fun, middle of June, 1940, no winter. So we're just cruising through Italy, taking them out. There's Taranto. I think they should cap when we get to Taranto. They have not capped, and we took Sicily. Okay, something's wrong with the game, I think. They should be over. I should have their fleet. We should be in the peace conference. What has gone? Oh, they cored Libya, and Tripoli has 10 points, and so that's enough points to keep them out of capitulation. And no, I cannot cross the ocean against their fleet. Joke's on me. Well, let's go to the UK. Let's just drop into Maldives. There's no one. Why is someone guarding the Maldives? Why is that such a valuable place? But nonetheless, I played to just take it easy and drop a paratrooper, and so that's not going to work out. That's annoying on my part. That's okay. Let's rebuild the paratroopers, make them a little bit stronger. We can make this work. We can make this work unless they start reinforcing with more troops, which we hope they don't, which would be so painful. Well, into Bangladesh, because Bangladesh, I keep saying Bangladesh, Burma. I'm so sorry of the folks in Burma. Burma is the last of our countries we need to take out, not Bangladesh. So on to Burma. Now let's start dropping paratroopers. Okay, this looks much better. I think we've got this. They'll survive long enough to get rid of their paratrooper malice. And so, what's this? Oh, they're getting reinforced. Okay, we kill them. That's okay. We can kill this one guy. Oh, he's back. Oh, he's back. What's going on? What's going on? I don't know how this game works sometimes. How does he die and come back? And then this guy gets in multiple combat. So I've got 3 plus 1 is 4. I don't know. But in any case, we had enough. I mean, this was not meant to be an exploit. We legitimately took the Maldives, and that's it. Everything's green checked. Why can we not form Akhand Bharat? What's wrong with this game? Whatever. Maybe it's the claim princely states, because it's not green. I don't need to claim the princely states. That's not what it says I need, but we'll take it anyway. So let's just chill out. Okay, we have 175. That was it. That was the secret hidden requirement we needed. Now we can finally form Akhand Bharat. We finally have everything. Claim princely states was the hidden thing that I needed to do that I didn't realize, but whatever. That's the easiest thing because I just need a political power. Let's go ahead and click that button. And then we can call it a day. So cool. We get more population, and we get that cool color, and that's kind of, we get construction speed. So it's pretty cool. This was very powerful. I think still the Mughal Path of India is the most powerful minor in the name. Akhand Bharat, it's maybe top 10, maybe top 5. It is definitely powerful. It has some of the most powerful attack bonuses, the plus 15% Attack that's available for 200 PP is amazing. Two bonuses to give +5. So many other focuses that give other bonuses to your army. So this was a lot more fun. We could easily take this on a world conquest. We got 5 research slot plus 16% research speed. So this could be taken to the end. But since the request was just to form Akhand Bharat, that's what we've done. Well, it was a lot of fun for me. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave below. If you've got any ideas, things you want to see me try, I'm open to them. I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a great day.